Joe Burrow might not say anything fun to local media ever again. Hi again, everyone. I'm James Rapien with allbengals.com and Cincinnati Bengals Talk. And yes, Burrow did say there isn't much to do in Cincinnati, and you're going to hear that comment coming up in just a second. But this is Cincinnati Bengals Talk. This is a football channel, and you come for football analysis. So we're going to start there, and then yes, we'll get into my interpretation, and we'll hear what Joe Burrow had to say sort of willingly in full context, because I'm sure you've seen it. And if you haven't, well, you've come to the right place, because you're going to get the full context right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Let's start, though, with Joe Burrow in the pocket and moving out of the pocket and going off script. We've seen it over the past couple of weeks where he's really moving well. He looks like the athlete that the Bengals drafted out of LSU, right? He played well earlier in the year, but I don't think he was as athletic as he is now. And certainly a big difference, I think, over the past couple of weeks. And it's not just something I've observed or you've observed. It's something Burrow has noticed. Here's my question about that, and then Burrow discussing it, and then Jay Morrison of The Athletic with a nice follow-up. Burrow on his comfort in the pocket post-ACL injury. Do you feel like you're playing your best ball of the season right now and over the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, I'm comfortable back there. I think I'm finally getting back to where I was pre-injury as far as my movement in the pocket and being able to extend the play. I've been able to do that a couple times these last few games that I felt really comfortable in. I'm not even really thinking about it anymore, which is exciting for me because I wasn't really making those plays at the beginning of the year. So I'm finally getting back to myself, and I think that's just going to open up even more for us.
You mentioned your comfort and your confidence in moving in the pocket. What about the opposite? It seemed like against Denver that there were times the pocket was collapsing and you didn't get out and escape. You stood in there till the last second. Or do you feel more confident standing in there and have a better feel in the pocket?
I think when you're trying to decide whether you need to move and escape the pocket or you need to stand in and make the throw, you got to determine the situation of the game and determine the coverage and the route that you have. If you have a route that is about to come open, you want to sit in there and take the hit and make the throw. And a lot of times that's third down. That's, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, where, you have the right play against the right defense. It's just a longer developing play that you're going to have to sit in and take a hit. And other times, the play that you have and the coverage that's being played, and you're not going to really have anything, and they're going to be able to cover the route concept that you have based on the coverage that they're playing. And so then you can, slide in the pocket and escape, quicker than if you think that you have a route that's going to come open. So I think it just whatever determines that is the situation.
If the Bengals are going to reach their full potential this season, they needed this Burrow to arise. And even on Sunday, he goes off script against Denver, throws it deep to Chase, and it was a big play that was nullified by a holding call, but that's one of those plays. Running for first downs, in running, looking athletic doing it. I think there's a difference. He was running earlier in the year, but it was slower. It was when it was there. Burrow now looks like he is more athletic and the athlete again that we saw pre-ACL injury. And that's really, really good to see. Zach Taylor, by the way, there wasn't much to this clip, but I asked him about that, and he said the same thing, that he feels like there's no concern about Joe anymore. Obviously, they want to protect him, but he looks like the Joe pre-ACL injury. And obviously, Taylor's only going to talk so much about that and about potential injuries. Speaking of injuries, Joe Mixon set to practice on Wednesday, which is good news for his chances of playing against Baltimore. Trent Taylor will stick around at punt returner this week. He'll be on the practice squad, but they can still elevate him. So that's something they will do. Just a quick little note there. But I have to dive into this clip, because Joe Burrow is basically asked about the Ravens and how they're different from their matchup earlier this year, way back on October 24th, where the Bengals won 41-17, to now where they're matching up with potentially a division title on the line this Sunday at Paul Brown Stadium. And Burrow, well, he said there's nothing to do in Cincinnati. All right, so that deserves context, and let's give it proper context. Here's Jeff Hobson's question of Bengals.com and Joe Burrow's answer.
How do you think you guys are different, maybe mentally than you were then?
No, it's tough to say. It's a long season. We're still a healthy team, which not a lot of people can say at this point of the season. We've been lucky as far as injuries and COVID, and we're doing a great job with our COVID protocols. Fortunately, there's not a ton to do in Cincinnati, so it's not nobody's going out to clubs and bars and getting COVID every weekend. But we've been healthy, and I think we're the same team we are back then. We've just had more reps under our belt, and they're a better football team and understand the details better.
Oh my gosh. Did you hear what Joe Burrow said? I can already feel the Reddit boards and Twitter and Facebook. He really said that. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I think what he means is, and maybe not, maybe he just thinks Cincinnati sucks, but I don't buy that. The dude's from Athens, okay? Like, there's nothing to do in Athens either. Let's be real here. But Cincinnati isn't, a top 5 large city, right? It's not Los Angeles. It's not New York. It's not Miami. So you're not tempted to go out on a Tuesday night or for, a Thursday night or a Saturday night before the game and stay out till 5 a.m. And I think that's what he means. And he was talkative more talkative, I would say, than normal on Wednesday. But I think that's what he meant. And it makes sense, by the way, that he would say that. Now, does the phrasing look good? No. If you use the 5-second clip, fortunately, there's not much to do in Cincinnati. It sounds bad, right? But overall, he was really just praising the team for being disciplined COVID-wise. And they have been pretty good, knock on wood, because you guys will get mad at me, and I don't want any of the Bengals players to get COVID. I don't want anybody to get COVID. I hope it disappears by the time you guys see this video. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But that's what I think he meant. And it's going to turn into this big thing. I had someone from my old station in Cleveland text me about, it's going to be a thing for a day or two, it feels like. But I wanted to give you proper context, the full video clip, the question itself, and then my thoughts, which again is, clubs close in Cincinnati at 2 a.m. at the latest during the week. 2 a.m. at the latest. Now, can Bengals get special treatment where a bar will stay open for them? Of course. You might know a bar owner where you can make that work, right? That's possible. But Chicago, other places like New York, places can stay up till 4 or 5 a.m. Atlanta, a little more tempting to break COVID protocol, to stop and get some chicken wings like Lou Williams did a few years ago, right? And so that's the part of it that I think Joe meant. That's what I think he meant by it. I don't think he doesn't like Cincinnati. I can already see this narrative on First Take. If the Bengals lose 2 out of the next 3, Burrow says there's nothing to do in Cincinnati. Is he unhappy? Will he request a trade? Da, da, da. Andrew, you can throw in some sound effects there if you want, or we can just keep mine. I think mine might be better. Look, this is a non-controversy, not a controversy. I think there's plenty to do in Cincinnati, but within reason, and there's ways to do it safely. And I also think Burrow isn't the guy that goes to the club anyway. So what matter if it was Miami or other places? And he's more talking about his teammates, that they're not going to be going out till 3, 4 a.m. And he didn't say that, and he might have caught himself afterwards. And there are going to be people that are pissed off and angry and mad about it. I'm a Cincinnati native. I've lived here there was a 3-year stretch, 2.5-year stretch where I lived in Cleveland. Outside of that, I've lived in Cincinnati or a suburb of Cincinnati my entire life. I'm not offended. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should be more offended. Maybe I should defend my city. And I'm not offended because most Cincinnati natives say there isn't bleep to do in Cincinnati. Plus, if that's what keeps the Bengals out of COVID protocol, then that's what keeps them out of COVID protocol. Chidobe Awuzie is still in COVID-19 protocol. We'll keep you up to date on that and so much more throughout the week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We continue to grow, and it's all thanks to you. And, well, I'd say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, but we're going to have videos before Christmas, baby. So, Andrew, get ready to edit for our editor, Andrew Fox Miller. I'm James Rapien. I'm fired up now because, I can just feel the takes oozing through me, and not even me making those takes. I just know people are offended right now, and I love it. Not really, but I just think it's ridiculous. And Yeah. So I'm going to go do nothing in my Cincinnati suburban home and continue to post videos on Cincinnati Bengals talk. So hit that subscribe button. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. I'm James Rapien.